much training did you go through at
Enough.
Minimal.
Did you actually?
They handed him
A lot.
They handed him a guide, like a book written in 1987. There you go. Here's your key pass.
No, there's a lot. There's
I've
a
never
lot.
had training in any of my jobs. I just get thrown in.
How can you? Actually, no. Wait a second. Hang on.
I got training at the start, but now it's like, no, you got to train because they just didn't have the time. So they just had me doing a lot of admin stuff at the start.
To be fair,
but now,
I haven't had training in the last 2 jobs I've had.
Yeah.
Including my current.
Yeah, same.
The last job I went into, they said to me, essentially, you're making the role your own. Like, we don't have anyone doing that role.
Yeah.
So I got help when it came to identifying products and, how do we do this, how to do that? Yeah, this is how we do it. Or do you have a better idea? My current role was literally like the day I signed up was the day that the national manager resigned. And I'm like, okay. So now what? Well,
I guess you're the national manager.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'll do a handover for the next, but I've checked out already. I'm like, oh, far out, man. So it was me building it from the ground up.
That was piss poor though. That whole situation.
It was a
at least train you up. A debacle. Yes.
What a complete disaster.
A great up word.
Vince
Debacle.
McMahon. WrestleMania, the arcade game. Anyway, but yeah, no, you're right. I actually haven't received training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the manager at, for God's sake, like, I never got training. I never got training once. And I ran into my neighbor who works at head office, and we got into the car. I didn't know at the time. She told me after. And I said, she goes, what did you used to do? And I go, I was the manager. And she goes, oh, okay, cool. Do you like it? I'm like, no, shit. I'm like, it was absolutely terrible. Head office is crap. They don't support you. They don't train you.
I work at head office.
Yeah. And I could see her face like crunching a bit. And I was like, that's weird. I kind of caught that reaction. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, yeah, I work at head office. Yeah, that was pretty awkward. No,
but there's always that separation between the head office and the people that are always out in like your field or in the store.
They've got
no
idea.
But they're the ones that provide they set up the training.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the other job, basically, it's training every day still, like all the time. As soon as something new comes out, all the time, you got to train up on it straight away.
That's government regulated.
Yeah,
isn't it?
of course. Yeah. I had to.
Why are you laughing?
I can just picture like
3 months.
Every week is like how to deal with an angry Asian customer, how to deal with an angry German customer.
No, they wouldn't break it down to that.
Not by well. Yeah. I have. Well, let's just say I have had extensive training in how to deal with an aggressive customer.
Yeah. Okay.
That's probably the most training I've had to do.
What do you reckon the most over the top reaction has ever been from a customer, like on an aggressive stance? Like,
I once had a guy absolutely lose the plot. Not at me, but I was standing next to the person who.
I'm just laughing at the term "lose the plot." Like the plot is something you follow.
I had to draw
through a movie. You lost it, mate. You lost sight of it.
So this guy was just going off because he had to leave his house to come pick something up. Okay. Yeah. And he was going off at the person next to me, but absolutely dropping all the bombs, like everything. There was a woman next to that I was serving, and she was mortified that he was using, losing the plot like that. There were kids in the store, and the person I'm working with, always keeps her calm. But this time I could see she was starting to buckle, lose the plot. Everyone was losing the plot that day.
The plot was lost that day.
The plot was lost.
So we're instructed to not get involved unless specifically asked to.
Okay.
By your person that is copping the abuse.
Oh, so wait, he was going off at someone else?
Yeah.
Oh.
But nothing was ever said to me to get involved. So I slowly had to settle aside and draw the attention.
So
I started copping abuse without saying a word.
What's it called? What's the game? The one set in New York with the pandemic.
Division.
Yeah. Drawing cover fire, drawing the heat.
Yeah.
So you're doing.
So I had to basically draw his attention, lock eyes with him, so he'd start going off at me.
Excuse me, handsome.
Can you imagine they look eyes? The guy just stops.
No, that's what happened. It's
Kenny G just comes sweeping in.
Yeah. Well, essentially, here's the number. Here's the number. Call it up. Complain if you want.
Here's my number. Call it up. Thank you. And then he goes to walk out, stops at the door. I didn't catch your name.
Does the turn.
It's John.
Whoa!
Oh, man.
In the heat of the night.
All right. So did you get his attention?
I did. I basically drew all the attention to me.
Right.
So she stopped copping the abuse. All I said was, here's the number, call this. And he turns around, he's just going off, knocking crap off there, going off, throwing things off the floor, slamming the door.
The second he touched anything in the store,
Well,
I would have been
too.
over the counter
Tackle
like Jackie
mode.
Chan, seriously kicking the shit out of someone.
Yeah, that's been one of the, you know how flippant I can be.
Wait, so what's the outcome?
He left the store crying like a little bitch.
Are you kidding?
Well, no, I didn't hit him, but we're not allowed to do anything. We cannot do anything.
Yeah.
Did you address him down?
Charges.
Unless we're physically touched first, then we can touch.
Yeah. And even then, there's a line to, yeah.
So essentially, I just had to grab his attention and cop the abuse.
Yeah.
By drawing the attention away, and he just then locked onto me because I'm the guy who'll go off. But mind you, I don't cop as much abuse as the female staff that are in the store as well, because I don't know, for some reason people think they can abuse women more.
I was going to say, when we were talking about that whole drawing heat and getting that sort of, would you say something? I generally, 15 years ago, I would have been an easy sort of walkover. I would have looked like it anyway. Yeah. Now, I mean, I've put on a lot of weight, the tats, it's like, no one's going to sort of say to me, oh, blah, blah, blah. I can sort of just say, go fuck yourself, and that's the end of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel more confident.
I do it on a daily basis. No, the line's there.
Just relax.
So relax. The line's there. There's not 3 lines. There's 1. Get in line. That's it.
Yeah.
I have to do it under that.
See, I feel like more people should be doing that in their jobs, though, because the more people get away with it, the more scum we have in society. And
because people don't care. Yeah. They don't care enough to correct someone.
They're not paid enough to care.
But what is the number, though, for someone to care? $100 an hour?
No.
An extra $2 an hour?
Once you take the job on, you care. You should have a
exactly. You should take. Yeah, I'm of the belief that when you take a job on,
you just do
regardless of your job.
It's your job, regardless if it's tossing fries at a Macca's or the CEO of a conglomerate company.
Oh, CEOs don't care.
They care if they're going to lose money,
and if they're going to lose 30,000 staff. You know.
Dude, when I worked at one of my old jobs,
you put your all into it, regardless.
I picked up on a mistake. It was early Sunday morning or something. I picked up on a mistake on the floor, right? Moving stock around, all this sort of shit. And I basically spent 10 minutes just cleaning it up. And then I went and notified someone in quality control or whatever, receiving, hey, this and this happened. I've changed this and that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, cool, good pickup. See you later. 2 days later, one of my managers came up to me and said, oh, can't chat to you. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He goes, oh, I just want to say thanks, for what you did the other day. And he goes, I know this isn't much, but it's just a little thing. And he had a chocolate bar or some shit. And I was looking at him and go, dude, keep that fucking chocolate bar. I was doing my job. I go, I don't want a chocolate bar. I've been here for X amount of years. I go, I haven't worked my way up to shit. I keep getting pushed back in terms of promotion or not even promotion as in money-wise, but just elevation in my role. I didn't give a fuck about a chocolate bar. I go, I was just doing my job. Literally what I said to him. He said, oh, yeah, but, you can't always count on people like that. Because maybe they shouldn't be fucking working here, taking space from people that actually do the extra yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And that's at that point, I started getting moved around. That's when I started moving into higher sort of positions. Yeah. Getting more training and all that sort of stuff.
There's, I saw it was on Reddit, I think, and it was just it's some sub, I can't remember what it was. And it was just saying basically, I think it was a thought of the day or whatever. It was just somebody had shower thoughts or whatever. And it was nothing will kill the productivity of a good employee than rewarding a bad employee for bad productivity.
Definitely.
Dude.
I'm all on board that.
I was, when I'd gone to Malaysia in 2017, just before I left, there was a whole bunch of applications for in-house promotions and in-house elevations. And I put my hat in the ring. Every year they used to say to me, you should put your hat in the ring, la la. And I kept saying, no, not going to bother because look at who gets selected. It's always the same demographic of people, same first names, same surnames, every time. Like, I'm not doing it because if I put my name in the ring and I got knocked back, I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not doing it. 2017, right before we leave, a bunch of like my superiors all said, dude, you really should put it in, la, la, la. Like, okay. So I put it in, right? Wrote my cover letter, wrote all my crap, put it all in. And on paper, I was literally the most experienced across the board in a warehouse full of, say, 100 dudes. Like, and that's not me blowing smoke up my own ass.
Yeah, I remember the stuff you used to tell me. Yeah.
I'd been there for long enough. I'd been cross-trained in enough areas, as in already, and I was looking at different positions like across the board. Left, went to Malaysia, got back, got knocked back, right? The operations manager, someone came up to me and said, oh, listen, you weren't successful. I'm like, yeah, really? Like, I didn't see that one coming. Oh, but you should try again. And I'm like, and I looked at him and go, mate, I'm never trying again. I tried once, and exactly what I said happened. Forget it. I go, that's my one time. I go, nothing's going to change. I go, still going to put out the same output that I do now, but I'm just telling you personally, as someone who I've known now for 5-6 years, I go, that's done. It was more than that. It was probably 7 years by that point. About a week or two later, they elevated a whole bunch of people in-house, especially a couple of dudes that basically been there for 6 months, 10 months.
That's
just curried favor, all that sort of shit. And it pissed a lot of people off. I just got angry. I'm just like, whatever, right? I remember picking boxes. I was busting my back on a Sunday morning or something, trying to clean up someone's mistake. And one of these team leaders comes up to me, who isn't a bad guy. He just goes, it really is hard, isn't it? I go, what's that? And he's just said it twice. And I've ignored him while I'm picking up these 15-kilo boxes, just trying to clear out a pallet as fast as I could. And he said it twice within earshot. And it was just me and him there. So I've literally just dropped the box that I was holding. I'm like, what's hard, mate? Tell me. He goes, the job, it's really, really, must be really hard to keep doing this day in, day out. And I looked at him and go, you know what's hard, man? Busting your balls for 7 years, getting passed over elevation, la, la, la. Then they finally push you to do it. And then when you do, you get shit canned. And then 2 weeks later, you see guys that have been here for 6 months wearing the same jacket that you're wearing. That hurts even more. He just went quiet. He goes, I see what you're saying. I go, yeah. Now let me get back to this shit before I get the sack. And I just turned around and started chucking boxes down again. I said this, man. I did not care.
Yeah. How long had this guy been? He's been around.
He'd been there for years, 20 years.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was 7 years in, so I would have been seniority as far as length. And I lasted an extra 2 years after that. But that was the turning point of my attitude, just gone straight out the window. Didn't work any less. But after I did that, I started getting put up for more and more changes in my position. I started getting even more cross-trained. It was incredible. It was so bizarre. As soon as I started actively voicing my what's it called?
I think
dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize, yes, even though, that whole situation, pretty crap. A lot of people don't realize that by speaking up in your job as well, a lot of people will keep their, think their situation is how it is and it'll never change at work.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know that you can try and negotiate for more pay. People don't know that you can negotiate for altered hours or stuff like that. So they just think that's what it is. That's their lot. They're stuck with it. They become miserable. And then that leads to negative output, basically. You know?
Look at my last, basically 2 years.
Yeah.
I've never been more vocal in voicing dissatisfaction. Never been more progressive in voicing dissatisfaction. And actively, my last job, I was there for 20 months, 21 months, somewhere there. And I'd done everything I could to elevate that role, that job. I did everything I could on my end, and nothing else was going to change because of management, because of process, because of whatever. I could not get it across the line any further than it was, but my pay hadn't changed. Nothing had changed for me, even though I voiced it. Can I please get an appraisal? Can I please get this? No, 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 no. And then what do? You get on seek.com and just punch in a few things, and it's like, hey, man, I can do this job for a lot more money.
Yeah.
A lot more freedom, a lot more this, a lot more whatever. Yeah, responsibilities more, but I'm not negging on that.
Yeah.
I think you know that story about when I was merchandising. I think I've told you this one, how I had applied for a team leader position.
Possibly.
And went and did
Tell
the
him.
interview. Yes. So I did the interview when I was merchandising. So I was there 11 years. 5 years into it, all right, position came up. It was like, better pay. Obviously, it was better.
You know what's interesting? His role there and my role ended at the same time.
Yeah.
We met up for coffee, and I dropped the bomb on him, and he's like, yeah, same, me too. I'm like, what?
Huh?
We both became redundant in the same era.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry, continue.
And if about halfway into it, I applied for this position. Went for the interview. They loved it. They said it in you're pretty much getting this. There's only been another 2 applicants, and they're not going to get it. This is just a formality. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yep. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I remember this now. Yeah, I remember.
Guess what? I didn't get it. And the dumbass, national manager turns around to me, because then we had some lunch at 2 months later. He's like, oh, yeah, sorry, John, we wanted to give it to you. I know we said that it was yours, but this is what he said. I could have taken it to court. We had to give it to this other person because, what did he say? He goes, because if we didn't give it to her, she would just become unbearable. I'm like, so you promised me a job.
Look at his face. He's just confused.
You promised me a job.
The squint.
You did that. You promised me a job. You said that you actually couldn't give me the job because you had to give it to someone out of basically favoritism almost.
Yeah.
And you're saying this to me now in person in front of all these people as witnesses, After that, same thing, not same thing after that, I think my productivity went very well down.
Yeah.
I was basically then, I think at that time I was basically checking out all the cafes up and down the southeast, which were the best ones. And then, basically they did all these, that place was shocking. But so.
And that's a multinational company. Do you know what I mean? They don't care.
No.
They do not care. As long as they make their budgets, they get their quarterly bonus, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's what kills me. The fact that these middle managers and the heads above them, they are rewarded so exponentially if they make their budgets, which are purely reliant on other people doing their jobs well.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
And pay cuts.
Yeah. They either get rid of people and then force the remaining people to work. They spook the shit out of them and get them to work even harder.
Yeah.
I mean, that company there was a fantastic place to work at when I started. But after about 4 years, they pretty much all the old guard that were there, that had been there for years from basically when it had opened in Australia, either retired, were forced to become forced redundancy, or died. They were that old. I don't know. It's just basically the whole bones, what made the company, all left. So they had all these new people coming in with all their, people die, man. What do you want?
Just these old people in the back making hot dogs. What are you doing?
It's like the line out of Old School, Vince Vaughn in the church. When they're at the funeral for Blue, that old guy that dies when they do he died. That's what old people do. They die. Wasn't your fault.
They, all the new people came in, new young people with bright ideas that had to prove their worth.
Okay, hang on. Here's a question.
Because what was working couldn't work anymore.
We have the term old guard, right?
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah.
It's the old guard. It's the heads of old.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that the old guard has to go at some point?
Eventually, because then...
No, I'm not saying just out of look, man, you've been doing it 50 years, you're going to die
the old guard,
on the job.
I consider the old guard as the people as the original people. That's what I consider the old guard, regardless if it's modern day or old.
Can you hang on to them just out of sentimentality?
Depends if they still do their job well.
But that's what I'm saying.
But they probably would do it well in a way that you wouldn't notice that they're not doing it well, right? Because they've come to the point. They've come to the point where they know how to do it barely
By cutting corners.
Yeah. So they're doing it, and it looks like they're doing it, but they're actually not really doing anything. Because I found a lot of that problem.
I've seen it too. And that's why I bring it up. Because I hate... Okay, this is the thing, all right? I mean, I did HR coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did a year and a half, whatever it was, 2 years of HR. I actually have an advanced diploma in business management. Human resources.
Good fucking on you.
Hey, you know what? Suck my
tough.
dick, man, all right?
How's that going, by the way?
What?
Your diploma.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an advanced diploma. It's somewhere in my desk.
It's some.
He's got it beside his humane studies diploma.
Humane studies.
It's one of the social. What are the socials? The humanities. The humanities diplomas.
degree.
It's just as valuable.
No, it's an arts marketing degree. Arts marketing. Brilliant. Fucking geniuses. No. Why I'm saying this is because that was my first insight into industrial relations, HR, and it did open my eyes to a lot of stuff. HR is basically common sense. Okay?
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
And it's an oxymoron. Human resources does not manage human resources. It manages
Business resources.
businesses' resources on this evil green. Yes.
We're not here for you. We're here to protect us.
Take the pill.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
I thought there might be something good there. Essentially, I'm looking at a 60-year-old Neo and Trinity by the end of it, who shouldn't be wearing those outfits anymore.
What? They still wearing the black leather?
Not leather now. It's like satin or silk.
The whole
silk.
tie
silk.
The whole
It
cast,
just doesn't look right, man. The wrinkles are like, nah, they're too old now, man.
the whole cast came out and said they don't know what they were doing in that.
Look, you know
You're
what?
kidding.
To be
The
honest,
whole cast said we don't know why and what. Like we just
they
don't
essentially say it in the movie. They say
what
it
do you
in
mean?
there because it's like you're not going to watch it, are you? All right, spoilers for people who aren't going to watch a movie
know.
that's
Oh my
already.
God!
It's 60 years later.
This is where everyone happy lives. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tom, you gotta come out of the closet. Oh my God.
Neil Patrick Harris is in it, all right?
Really?
Yes.
As what?
He's like, he's the bad guy.
He's not Morpheus.
No.
They cast the whitest gay man in America as a solemn black man.
Hello, Neil. You're looking fine today. Neil Patrick Morpheus.
His name is Neil Patrick, like the actor's name. It's like in Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
He's Neil Patrick.
You know what I mean? Is that Neil Patrick Harris?
Hey, here's a question.
Relax, man.
Why does he?
Where did that come from?
Why doesn't he
Hang
get
on,
cancelled?
Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Can you both calm down because you're both yelling.
I've had 2 donuts.
And
I'm very hot.
that door is open, so it's echoing all the way through. This is going to be a pain in the ass to edit.
Oh, good.
The one time I've been asking people to speak up. Oh!
Every time I hear the boat horn, I think of what's his name from South Park? Damn it, the Aussie actor.
Aussie actor.
Steve Irwin.
No, the one in South Park.
Actor.
Where he's like got the tugboat.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Fighting around
Every
the
time I hear
world.
the tugboat sound, you want to fight?
He's doing fisticuffs. Every time I hear the sound of a horn, I just picture Homer like trying to soothe Marge to sleep. I can't remember what she was tired.
Oh,
It's
the
like,
white noises.
yeah, and he's in the background just going. No, nevertheless. No, I ask you to speak up. You never do, and now you're yelling when it's going to cause
Okay.
interference.
Continue, please. He's rooting in.
All right. So,
Oh, fuck. NPH, why wasn't he cancelled?
because he's a gay man playing a straight man.
Anyway,
Oh.
so
Oh, okay, so you're saying he's taking a job away from a minority.
Yes?
As in not a minority, as in
Taking a job away from a
appropriation.
cisgendered heterosexual man.
what's happening? Tell us about your fucking
I like
Matrix
Neil
experience.
Patrick Harris.
What
What do you call it?
Do you know what my favourite Neil Patrick Harris thing is? From Harold and Kumar, the second one, I think, when he's pretending to be gay.
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
No, not the
I
second
don't
one.
remember
All right,
but I've seen
keep your
it.
thing, I'll find it.
Yeah, so he's like the bad guy because he's basically the new person in charge of the whole Matrix.
Right.
And Neo has gone into hiding.
This already sounds terrible, by the way.
Not into hiding, but he's basically like he's purposely taking is it the blue pill? The one that like
Put you.
keeps you within the Matrix.
By
Yeah.
the way.
He's purposely taking it because at the end, if you remember the third one, like he
No.
okay, well he submits himself to the Matrix to
Right.
reboot it to get a ceasefire, and so he's purposely taking it, but he's still trying to break free. Like there's something not right, and Yeah, so it's like, like, what was I talking about this anyway? I can't remember.
The movie's that bad, he can't even remember what's going on. He takes a pill, he goes back in.
So he's actually within, like, in the Matrix, he creates a game called The Matrix, a video game called The Matrix, and it's his whole story of the trilogy. And so the Matrix is allowing him to do this to kind of keep his memory. And so, like, parts within the original movies were like parts of a game within the. It's ridiculous.
That sounds ridiculous.
It sounds like a rip of Inception or something.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Inception type thing. And what was I bringing this up though? What was I talking about? The Matrix.
Talking about him. Wait, because I said about taking pills.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I just mentioned it because HR would make you take the pill.
Yeah,
and you're like,
and essentially, like, he's got his own little Matrix within the Matrix, which is a video game. It's the most successful video game ever made, stuff like that. Neil Patrick Harris is actually his minder within, like, the Matrix, who's actually in charge of it.
This sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And
no, like, I've already lost track.
Yeah, it's just too many loop. The way they ended it would have been good if they had made a fourth movie like 2 years after the original trilogy, because they still would have been young and it just wouldn't have been like out of people's mind.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, because Neil Patrick Harris is also a psychiatrist in the game, in the movie. And he actually says it. He goes, why do they, because like it's a successful trilogy in the movie. Like in the Matrix, there's a video game called The Matrix made by Neo. Okay? It's one of the most successful video games. Now it's like 10 years later after everyone's loved it and everything. And Neil Patrick Harris says, why have like your parent company who owns your video game company, Warner Brothers, who owns the actual Matrix movie, why do they want you to make a fourth game / movie? Because they want money. They're either going to make it with you or without you. So he's essentially said in the movie they wanted a fourth Matrix movie.
To make money.
To make money. They're either going to do it with the Wachowskis or not. So they did it with one of them. It was a semi-okay movie, like I said.
Oh, it was only one of them that did it.
Yeah, the other one didn't do it.
Oh,
I can see why.
And the way it ended was actually not bad, but if it was done earlier, or even if that was the actual original ending, it would have been okay, a bit better. But it's just too far gone. It's out of people's minds. The last movie left a sour taste, I think. And yeah,
it's The Matrix. I love
The Matrix. I originally was absolutely obsessed with the first one.
Yeah,
the second one, I love the action scenes in the second one, the choreography. I love the music, but the third one just
lost me as well.
As soon as basically Smith came into the real world, it was like it just started losing track.
I agree. No, I completely agree with you. For one and two, great.
It was as if they didn't have a plan for the third one.
Yeah,
this is the scene I'm talking about.
Is it true that you're replacing Regis now that he's retiring?
Well, it'll be tough between How I Met Your Mother and all my charity work. But we'll see what happens.
Oh, wow. And you stunned fans when you said you were gay. How has this affected your relationship with your partner, David?
Well, maybe this will answer your question.
So hot in PH.
Hi. How about that? Thank you. I love you guys. What did I tell you about using tongue?
You said you wanted it to look realistic.
Yeah, realistic, not fucking gay as shit. You know the only reason I put up with this homo crap is for the P-tang.
Fuck this. I got a wife and kid at home. I'm out of here.
Wait, man. What about the stuff?
What stuff?
The stuff, man. You said you'd give me the stuff.
This stuff? Oh, yeah. Like this whole bag of crack. Well, maybe I should give it to someone else. You know, I got Fred Savage on speed dial.
Fred Savage.
That rock is mine. Give it to me. Come on, David. Give me the stuff. Give me the sugar.
Put more money in my account.
Yeah, you got it done.
And sing at my niece's quinceañera.
All right, I'll sing.
But you can't fuck her.
I can't make that promise.
All right, I won't fuck her. Just let me.
Excuse me, Neil.
Oh, this is.
I'm sorry. I can come back later.
No, we were just. No, I'm
hanging out.
Bye, sweet.
Dude,
You behave yourself, Peaches.
do you know who's come out? John, what's his name? Harold.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's actually gay.
Oh,
Actually, you would have been on this Cowboy Bebop.
No, that was crap.
yeah.
Did you see? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did
No,
you see?
I watched like 10 minutes and I was like, nah, I'm done.
The hilarious thing is that the actual like actors,
Okay, hang on. For people at home, Cowboy Bebop is
beloved anime.
beloved.
It's a beloved anime from the early 90s.
It was pretty early, wasn't it?
Maybe mid-90s.
It's 90s animation. It's that classic 90s animation.
Yeah.
And it's, like very, very, like, well, like that's like, when they say like something's like gatekeeped, like why do you get to gatekeep something or whatever?
Yeah.
That is like one of like the top 5 probably.
Mm-hmm.
Gatekeeped.
Yeah, like
as in like sacred.
Sacred
Yeah.
for anime. Like that, Full Metal Alchemist, probably like,
I mean, they've broken all these, by the way. They've
They've all been
they've
done.
broken the gates.
Yeah, I know. But they're just very, very, like, probably Berserk, 90s Berserk. Probably, like, I'm talking, like, 90s stuff. Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Akira.
It's funny. Literally everything he's naming has been completely smashed.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell was a Hollywood movie, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Universally panned.
I actually had to, when I did my audio engineering thing, man, one of the videos that we had to put sound to was a Ghost in the Shell clip. He's running up a stairwell onto a roof, does some sort of jiu-jitsu shit. Yeah, I actually had to put Foley to the thing, pick some score. It was very brilliant. I'm just saying, that's what I remember from Ghost in the Shell. Kiss my ass.
The actress who plays
Faye.
wasn't happy that people were panning him because I don't know, like they were going, like you can't. So you can't. When you adapt something, you can either go to the source material and do it word for word exactly the same with your own little twist,
Yeah.
or you just do your own thing.
Yeah.
And from what I gather, they did their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
I believe so.
Yeah. And like she.
I mean, to be fair, though, people were mad from the beginning because she was Spanish or whatever she is. Or whatever nationality she is.
I'm of the opinion that if you're going to adapt something, I don't really care what nationality the person is if it's an anime.
You mean what ethnicity they are?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
What
mean,
did
like, it was a rocky start from the beginning with that already making big waves.
Yeah, and she doubled down. She's a nobody, from what I gathered.
Yeah.
And she's
I've
doubled.
never heard of it.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it up until that. Doubling down on like the fact that she knows better, that the director and the writer know better, the writers know better than the people who have been,
fans.
consuming this this media for the last 25 years. And and she just copped
For
it.
me,
Copped it. Like
I never
viewers.
watched Cowboy Bebop. Like, I know what it is, and I know it was beloved and heralded highly and all that sort of shit. For me, I watched the scene, and even if I went in fresh, not knowing anything about the law or whatever, it's just a terrible sort of show. Like, as in, the one scene that I watched specifically, I'm just like, well, is this meant to be funny? Is it meant to be daring? Like, I didn't get it.
It was never funny.
I didn't realise it was Thingo until well later.
And then the next thing I hear is that the guy came out. Almost like as in like, now that like all the gay people have to get behind it or something just to give it a resurgence.
I'm going to go there.
Oh, boy.
Do you think it was a PR stunt to maybe take flack off?
Yes.
Yeah,
you go.
probably. Most probably.
Yes. Undoubtedly, I reckon it was.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that Kevin Spacey did.
Yeah.
Remember? They
Yeah.
came out questioning him for whatever before he got written off. He's like, "Oh, yeah, also I'm gay." Like,
Yeah,
who cares, mate? By this point, can you be what's it called? Rehabilitated?
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, if you're gay, you're gay. You can't.
Like, that's the problem.
Well, it's illegal now in Canada to try and do conversion therapy.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conversion therapy.
That's what they call
I
it.
can't even believe that's a thing.
It is,
I
man.
know, yeah, some people.
All over the joint. June, actually, there's a question. I had this conversation with someone the other day. Can you...
Not
like
to digress.
what?
Not to digress.
Yes, not to digress. No. Kevin Spacey,
Yeah.
right? One of Hollywood's most beloved actors of all time, right?
The left's getting thrown around a
I
lot
was
today.
just about to say that.
No.
I'm feeling the love.
Up until he was cancelled,
Yeah.
he had done no wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He had a good
Well,
history.
yeah, he had publicly he had done no wrong, but apparently he's just as notorious as what's his name, the producer.
Weinstein.
Weinstein, just as notorious.
No, publicly, I'm saying as far as his work goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was in like American Beauty, The Usual
yeah.
Suspect.
I'd still watch all that stuff.
Can you let me get to my
Okay.
point? All right.
No, great movie history.
Yeah, great movie history.
Yeah.
You know, heralded actor. Once he got cancelled, he went down fast.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I actually got into an argument online, which, I love doing.
So why do you keep doing it?
I don't know.
No, he was being genuine. He loves doing
I
it.
think he does.
No, someone brought up R. Kelly, right? R. Kelly's still in prison, yeah?
But has he been sentenced? Or is he still in court?
I think it was sentenced for something, but they're finding like more and more like
More and more
whistleblowers
girls
are coming
come
out.
out.
Yeah. You know what I
He
mean?
pissed on me when I was 12.
Actually, isn't that South Park episode as well? I pulled out my gun. I was just lying here.
That episode, man.
Full circle. I love it when we come full circle within the full circle. Now, so yeah, it was like on a hip
Come out of
hop.
the class brushing someone.
Relax there.
It's so good.
It is. L. Ron Hubbard. What do you mean? Okay, now, yeah, he's still in jail. It was an online. It was like an R&B hip hop sort of account or whatever we were commenting on, and they brought him up saying, "Oh, such and such is being another witness or another victim or whatever." And someone said something, "Oh, funny how they're only doing this to black actors and stuff like Cosby and all that. They don't seem to be doing it to anyone white." And I piped up like, I'm pretty sure Kevin Spacey got shot down immediately.
It was so
to the
quick.
point where they sacked him from his show, where he was like,
A huge show.
yeah,
Which they couldn't financially get rid of him, so they had to incorporate his wife into it.
they killed him off.
Yeah.
They not only got rid of him, they killed him.
Wasn't
off.
he the president?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, all right, let me say this. All right, now let's say Biden gets killed. All right, this is just, what do you call it? Conjecture. Is that the word? Hypothetical.
You love your hypothetical.
Yes, I'm a hypothetical person. Do you think Biden dies? Do you think they're appointing his wife as the next president?
I don't think you can, right?
No.
That's not a
It's got
thing.
nothing
That's
to do
not a
with
thing.
It. No,
You can't do
it's
it.
the next.
It's not next of kin.
No. He's vice president.
In his will, I nominate my wife.
Yeah, but it's in John F. Kennedy's voice. I nominate my wife as my successor.
Thank you, Joe.
And my house servant shall be passed on to my son.
Dude, you went straight to Quimby.
Yeah. I couldn't not do it.
Diamond Joe Quimby.
I couldn't not do it. I'm glad you realised.
Straight to Quimby, man.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, but Quimby's only surpassed by his nephew Freddie.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And the best call ever is just, Freddie, honey, I think something fell in the back seat. I'm not paying you to talk.
We should pull up that 30 episodes too.
Oh, yeah, we'll finish on that if you
Yeah,
like.
if you want.
Do you remember when Wiggum, when the monorail's going to shit, and then Wiggum rocks up, and then they go into a shit slinging match. It's like, I'm calling a show. It's like, I call the shots. It's like, it's the charter. And they go check out the town charter.
Like I'm owed
Why
something.
you ripping it? Let go of the charter. Cucumber glasses and a virtue true. Keep the pig. How many broads do I get? Anyway,
man.
if the president is shot, his vice president.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what happened.
That's
to
not his
JFK.
wife.
No, it's nothing to do with his wife.
Exactly.
Anyway, so go back to Kevin Spacey.
But, yeah.
All right, let's just say Hillary Clinton became president. All right. If she dies, I don't think they're making Bill
No,
president
he's
again.
gone. He's a relic, man.
Yeah. No, but what I'm getting at is just it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But that's what I said to this guy. I go, I'm pretty sure the second anything got leaked about Kevin Spacey, he got sacked. Then they killed him off on the show just to double down on the fact he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Then the movie that he was in, which was massive, massive
They just
movie.
stopped. They just canned it, didn't they?
They were done. They were ready to print release. The director called everyone back and they reshot every scene with Christopher Plummer. They said, nah, I'm not having him in this movie. I don't care if we've finished it.
The funny thing is, the hilarious thing is that Hollywood, they will devour their own so quickly when they're the hypocrites themselves who are doing this. They're enabling it all.
Oh, yeah. Don't you remember Ricky Gervais's speech at the Oscars?
Yeah.
He tore them all to shreds.
Yeah.
It's like you're all hypocrites, all of yous.
Yeah.
Stay off the politics. Stay off the world issues. Like, we're not here to solve world hunger. Stop it. Like,
But the fact is, they enabled Kevin Spacey all these years. They enabled Weinstein all those years.
yeah, because they're surrounded by yes men and people that are telling them that they're great, and they're just feeding the next project.
You know who's back in movies?
Yeah.
Good old Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's got a
Pop
TV
up.
show coming out as well.
What is he actually in?
This TV show.
He's in a TV show, and he's in, I think, 2 or 3 movies. Everyone kind of wants him.
Yeah.
He did an appearance on some podcast like during COVID.
Yeah.
And like everyone, like they told him how he's loved and beloved because he stays off social media or something. And he started crying, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Brendan Fraser."
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser was good.
He's great.
Yeah, I always liked him. Always.
Did you like him in was it Crash? The one about social issues in LA, and it's like it follows like 10 different individuals. Matt Dillon's in it.
Oh, it does ring a bell.
Matt Dillon plays like a racist cop who sexually assaults a woman that he's pulled over.
Yeah, that rings a bell. But I don't remember the movie.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's
Sounds like a good movie.
It basically, it was a good movie, but they said that it glorified and really isolated race relations in LA, where they say it's not like that. Like, you've basically made the worst stereotypes of every social group,
Right.
and you've just basically hammered on it just to make your movie. Do you know what I mean?
Do you reckon that was true or not?
Look, man, I've watched the movie maybe twice, and I thought it was a good movie. I can see why they're taking the negative stereotypes and just playing them out as hard as they can, but it's a movie. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the kind of point.
But then again, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Boppity boopity.
I actually listened to this. I saw an article
Actually,
where someone was crying.
Go.
Someone was crying that there wasn't enough representation in season 2 of The Witcher.
Representation of what?
Exactly.
What?
What?
So
What?
not only the first season as well, because they're saying, like Yennefer, all right, before she becomes hot,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah, mangled.
mangled. That was an opportunity for a disabled actor.
Oh, nah. I'm going to end the stream. Like, we're going to end the stream. We're going to end the
You hear what I'm
podcast,
saying?
yeah,
You
we're
see
gonna
what I'm getting
continue this
at?
conversation.
That's why I'm of the mind, well, why is Neil Patrick Harris not cancelled?
Surely no. I'm sorry.
Acting is acting. No? The whole point is to pretend.
What? So they literally want to get a whole different actor who's disabled,
Just for like...
and then just get a
Half an
supermodel.
ep-
Just be like, all right, disabled actor, you're done here. We're going to get the hot one in now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And you saw the second season yet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so...
yeah.
Yeah,
We're on
so
the third?
they just finished the second. Now they're filming a third one. The second one just finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the guy that burnt his face?
Yeah.
And then, like, the woman that was recruiting him, she burnt her face as
yeah.
well. They're like, that was an opportunity for a person who was burnt. Like, but it wouldn't be the same person.
That's just overcorrecting something.
I can't do it. It's too much.
No, it's taking away acting from acting.
Yeah.
Acting is pretending. That's the whole
Pretending
point
to
of
be
acting.
in that situation.
And that's why people get awards for acting,
Yeah, because
for their portrayal of a role. That's the whole point of
So
the
we were
Academy
supposed-
Awards.
for the Joker, for example, the one
Yeah.
that we watched, we should have got the completely insane psychopath.
So they should have gone out and hired some psycho
Yeah. Are
who's
you a serial
killed.
killer? Well, yes, I am. Whoa!
We'll get you.
We got a job for you, bud.
actually,
Yeah.
you're way off the mark. He wasn't a serial killer.
Well,
No. I'm just
well,
saying.
he does kill.
No, but he's not a serial killer. He kills like 3 people.
Is that more than one?
It's not a serial killer.
Is
I
serial
think a
killers
serial
more?
killer's more than one.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a serial killer.
Anyway,
No, my point is
By
that
definition.
they were making him out to be some sort of incel overlord. I was listening to that episode that we'd done.
Yeah.
They were hammering it.
Yeah,
that's
that's
when I
true.
brought up the
Yeah.
comparison. How come he's an incel overlord
Yeah.
and is glorifying being an incel
Yeah.
when Jennifer Lopez is out there in a movie right now?
Yeah, that's true.
Where it's a bunch of strippers drugging rich white
Oh,
men
yeah,
and
yeah.
fucking robbing them.
Yeah.
How is that not glorifying
Yeah, and that was it had good reviews.
that was acclaimed.
Yeah.
That was actually acclaimed.
Brave is the word.
Brave.
All right. That were
Oh, Sex and the City got a reboot.
yes.
You haven't seen that?
no,
It's all over the papers.
no.
I actually read a
Don't
review.
read the papers.
No, I read a review.
What's wrong with you?
It popped up as a pop-up, like when you open up a news thing and then more.
You open up a newspaper, pop up.
Yeah, like a moth. It was an article on the latest episode or something. I'm like, And it started with a headline like, why Miranda is now my most hated character. I'm like...
Because they've been milking the cow now until it's cheese.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, what have they done? So what they've done is they've taken... Do you remember the Sex and the City at all?
No.
Interesting side story. Malaysia, that trip that I mentioned before. Me, the rookie, and Giuseppe Bruno were there. Right, it was 3 of us. Yeah, his name is not Giuseppe Bruno. He's actually Polish. Something. Yeah,
there's always a reason.
But it's Giuseppe Bruno. Us 3 were there. It was our first day there, our first evening, and we're at like a Mexican joint having Italian food. I swear, dude, we're at a Mexican.
I just gotta do the gymnastics there for a second.
I'm telling you,
at Mexican place eating Italian food. Yeah. It's like Is a baby? What was it like in Seinfeld? The Pakistani restaurant.
Oh, the Dream Cafe.
Dream Cafe.
Can you for 10 points? Can you remember what his first suggestions were when they got there? When him, Elaine, and Jerry sat down.
Moussaka.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
No, his final suggestion was when Jerry asked for his recommendation was the turkey.
Yeah, the turkey.
I'm assuming because it's just an easy sandwich.
Yeah.
So, hey.
So it was Spanish meatballs?
I remember 2 out of the
I'm pretty
3.
sure it was spaghetti meatballs or pasta or something,
I think
wasn't
it was Spanish something.
I can't remember.
I can't remember the second one. The first one's moussaka.
Yeah.
Why am I saying moussaka? It's moussaka.
Yeah.
The last one is Franks and Beans.
Franks and beans.
Yeah, I don't remember the second one.
Might have been that.
I'll come back to you next time. I'll have watched it 3 times by then.
I actually watched it like on Wednesday.
That episode?
Yeah, last Wednesday.
It's a good episode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it was one, I know what you say. There was one, completely different region for each thing.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
ended up going with the turkey club.
Yeah, Malaysia, we're eating Italian food at a Mexican restaurant. And for some reason, Sex and the City came up. And then and one of us said, what were the names again? He's like the blonde one, the gay one, whatever. I'm like, hang on. So we actually ran through the names and we were physically berating each other because we couldn't remember the last name. There was a girl, like an English girl, sitting like two tables down. Excuse me, I'm really sorry to bother you, but can you tell us the name of like all 4
Why
characters?
do you seem I would know that?
Yeah, and then I said, we've got the first 3, and she's like, you've probably picked the only woman on this entire island that doesn't know the answer to that question. Furthermore, why the hell are you guys arguing over the names of the 4 characters? So as a point, it was Miranda, Charlotte, Samantha, and Carrie.
There you
all right,
go.
I've got those names.
Yes.
Samantha, the one that was in Porky's.
She's not in it anymore.
She bailed. She doesn't
Yeah.
want to be part of it, right?
Yeah.
So they wrote her out. She's living overseas or whatever. Now, out of the 3 that are left, Miranda, the redhead with the short hair that has like a feminist and la. She was the only one that I half tolerated because she seemed sort of real, right? She was actually realistic. She's actually played by a lesbian, which is incredible. Right. And she'd done an episode where she was venturing into lesbian feelings and then realized I went for her. That's acting. It's a gay woman pretending to be straight and then has like a crush, acts on it and realizes it's not for her. That is acting.
Yeah.
She didn't take a job away from a straight person.
Yeah, you're right. When he comes back
But
again,
according to their
Nevertheless,
the methodology nowadays.
In the series, from
Yeah.
what I remember,
Yeah.
she got married out of all of them. I think maybe one of the earlier ones or whatever.
Yeah, I
She had
think
the
so.
kid.
Yeah.
And her husband in the show, Steve, was like the atypical nice guy, never veered from that at all. They basically, in a swoop of like 2 episodes, they basically got her to split up with him over something totally innocuous. And now she's having like a lesbian affair with some.
Is this now?
Yeah, some black chick using pronouns. You know, they and
Yeah, of course.
them.
Fuck it.
No.
Wait, what?
No. Literally, they've done that to and it's like you've just ruined 2 characters.
10 years of what they were working on in
Exactly.
the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, hopefully
Is there any
just
water
fail.
in that fridge? Sorry. Is there any water in that
Probably
fridge?
need another one.
Can I grab one? Please?
you're going through all my supplies.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever had a bottle of your water.
See how with the
Do you need a drink?
I wouldn't mind one. Thank you.
What do you want?
Oh, just a water, man.
Maximus.
Actually,
I mean, there's water there.
No, I've got some left. I moved it because of the Slurpee. It's all
Warm as piss.
No, it was frozen. For some reason, dude, that fridge doesn't regulate everything else. So, like, the fridge itself doesn't work, right? Like, as in, it works, but doesn't keep things icy cold. But the stuff in the freezer at the very back, it had icicles on it, man, when I pulled it out.
Yeah?
That might have icicles on it, too.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I was going to say, Uber. This is what I was going to bring up before as far as stereotypes when you said, are you for real?
Keep it cold.
Wow. You're just wasting my plastic bottles. For the record, John has got his own little thermo, and what he's done is
I didn't think it was going to overflow.
he's trying to tip a plastic bottle of water into his thermo,
Oh, John, tissues.
and now it's stuck. He's got about 5-6 centimeters worth of water, and he's leaving the room. You are such an idiot. Don't go near my bike. There's a sink right there. Why'd you go outside? Oh, my God.
The toilet light. You turned the toilet light on. Why?
The man's an arse. What cable? I think it's your headphones. Or maybe I think it's an electrical cable. I think it's for the... no, it's for your headphones. You're killing me, man.
One tissue?
He did that to me like 6 months ago. I asked him for a tissue. He gave me one. I said, "What did you want?" I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You don't want to waste all of them. I get that paid for it." You're such a schmuck. Relax, man. It's like 100 degrees. That's going to sizzle soon and turn into a sauna for you.
I don't want it to gun the cables.
Oh, how thoughtful of you. Oh, you know what? It's actually on the light LED as well. Okay. Speaking of stereotypes, when I took my bike in to get serviced, to get a part fixed a couple of days ago, so I went to pick it up today. And that's what I did before I got here. I waited for my Uber, and it was coming. The guy that was coming to pick me up, his name was like Saeed or something. All right, I didn't even pay attention to it.
Of course it is.
But it was in a Toyota Kluger, like a big white fuck off, like SUV sort of looking thing. I go downstairs. I'm waiting on the corner. This guy pulls up, like up to the curb sort of thing. Like, I get in. Hey, mate, how are you? Doesn't say a word. All right. I sit down.
Good start.
I put on my seatbelt. I look up. All interior like black, spotless clean, right? I look up, and this is all I can see from like my vantage point in the back. Big fuck off beard, like a mask. He's wearing like a dark brown sort of shirt, dark brown sort of pants, woven like Egyptian cotton sort of shit. You know what I mean? And just the outline of gold Ray-Bans with dark shades. And he's just staring straight ahead. No music, no nothing, man.
That's hilarious.
Then he starts like doing these ones all the way to like the city road, whatever, to get to the thing. It felt like I was in The Jackal or like some sort of heist espionage movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And right at the end, he's like, over here. I'm like, yeah. I'll just pull over. I'll jump out. Thank you. And then that was it. Done, man. I'm like, have a good one. Good day, brother. Dude, it fucking freaked the fuck out of me, man.
There you go. How much does an Uber lift cost?
That lift?
$42 like the food?
That lift, because it was peak hour, cost me $14.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I find that Uber drives are actually pretty cheap.
Yep.
It depends, okay? Like, look at it this way. From when I used to be in Hyatt, you'd go from Hyatt to the city and you'd pay $37 or something, right?
Okay.
And that's like 6 o'clock, 7-ish.
Yeah.
On the way back from the city to Hyatt, if it was peak hour, midnight, 12:30, you could pay upwards to $70-$80.
Yeah. Their
'Cause
surge thing is crazy.
It's supply and demand. Mm-hmm. At that point, I just walked out onto the street, hailed on a cab. I go, hey, mate, how much back down to Hyatt? He's like, which way? I go, down to Penn Highway. He's like, $40. I go, done.
No meter.
No meter.
Yeah.
No. It was like that other clown that screwed me. $35 to go from Flinders Street to the top of Queen's Road or whatever the hell it was. Queen Street.
And right over for that one.
Oh, what do you want me to do?
Did I ever tell you about the time I came back from Japan? I was in Japan and I got some like Arabic guy offer me a taxi ride from the airport.
Wait, you were in Japan?
Yeah.
No.
And there was like an Arabic guy like trying to I'm guessing like scam tourists, out of
Standard.
taxi
Every
money.
country you go to. Dude, my first night in Vietnam, I got scammed.
He was charging $180. And I'm like, I'll give you 40 and I won't call the cops. And he's like, done. And it was a pretty long drive, I gotta say.
Are you serious?
Yeah, legit, yeah. And then on the way back, when I got to Melbourne again, like more guys, like super.
Oh, this was here.
No. This was in Japan.
Oh, okay.
And then I copped it again coming back here.
In Japan.
No, here.
So someone at the airport was trying to take you home.
From here, yeah. At Melbourne Airport. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that again. But that was funny. It was pretty cool.
Was it actually a cab?
No, dude, what they do is they park, same here, right? They park pretty far away from the actual airport itself because you can't come in. And then, they walk you all the way out. So they grab your bag, so it's not like a big deal. But they walk you all the way out, like 10 minutes down the road, 15 if they have to. And then, there's just a rundown, beat-down car. It looks like it's barely on, roadworthy.
How come I've never been heisted by these guys?
This was the first time I've actually let them, approach me. Normally, I don't have a bar of it. And I was so tired. The aeroplane,
Wait, when did you go to Japan?
This was on my first trip, which was 4 years ago.
Because I just got back from the airport from Adelaide. I didn't see any of these dudes.
Oh, yeah, no, they were there.
How come they didn't approach me?
Scare them.
Yeah, I don't know.
You scare them straight off the bat.
They're not in the airport. They're at exit terminals outside the airport.
Wouldn't you already be in a car there as
know,
you're leaving?
What the hell are you doing
No.
at the exit terminals?
They're at the doors before you get to the taxis. So they're waiting at the exit doors.
So
as
they're
you come
paying
out.
for parking that entire time.
No, they double park just outside of the airport.
Isn't that a tell of how trusting people are nowadays of just accepting rides from strangers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just everything we were taught as children.
The thing is, he had the accent. I just assumed he was a
Don't
taxi
get into
driver.
cars with strangers. Don't talk to strangers
No, but
online.
if some guy came up to me and was like, hey, mate, get in the car, I'll be like, you're not a taxi driver, man.
Oh, so
But this guy was like,
if
hello,
it's
brother, you want a car? Yeah, all right, let's go.
You said it was Arabic. That's an Indian accent.
I can't distinguish between the two, man. He was
Wait,
Arabic.
You can't distinguish between an Arab, Middle Eastern...
Between vocal range on my own voice, I can't.
He can't do it.
I can't.
Because he's not an actor. He's not an actor.
I'm not you. You want to do it? Please do it.
Actor.
All the best I can do is
That's not even Arabic!
exactly right. So there
That's
you go.
Muslim!
Well, I
It
just
isn't?
assumed they're. Anyway,
Have you heard of? I'll get his input now, so I got an idea. You've heard of Display? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Of course he has.
yeah. I'm trying to explain to him what it is.
I assume it's a scam.
Display? No.
Yeah. Oh no, I've never bought it. I know what it is.
Yeah,
I love
they're
that.
phrase.
That's a scam. NFTs aren't scams, but that's a scam.
Clearly, we've had two videos. Another one I was going to post onto the thread today.
Changing the world.
Hang on.
Changing the world.
Hang on.
Wait, let him finish before you throw it off.
He's talking about actual art you can physically, tangibly hold.
Hold in your hand.
Not metaphorically. That
you hold.
Not visualize.
And
or
not in line.
Conceptualize.
Did you watch that video that I showed you?
No.
The first one I sent with the John Strife, how he explains what NFTs are.
Oh, I don't remember.
You should watch it, man.
He's
It's
somewhat
good.
wrong too. He's not 100% accurate on that video.
But he's more right than wrong.
Well, you do own the NFT.
Okay, do you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like when South Park did their description of what Scientology actually is. And all these Scientologists came out saying, well, that's not actually true. Ah, well, actually it is. That's as accurate as you're going to get.
Well, it's accurate but except for the point that he said you don't own it.
So in other words, he's accurate about everything except for the you don't own it part.
Somewhat accurate.
Somewhat accurate.
He's wrong because he doesn't get how.
You're a real piece of work.
I don't think either he doesn't understand how transactions work.
That's what Andy is. A real piece of work.
You own it the same way as you own your dollar that's in your pocket.
Well, you're borrowing it
Yeah.
from the government.
But at the end of
But
the
you
day,
own it.
at the end of the
It's
day,
mine.
It's yours, yeah.
at the end of the day,
We really need to start filming these from the ground up, cutting off at the head.
Since you got me into these, I've been dying for a YouTube.
No, well, I'll film it.
you know what? Even if you filmed it, you can put this on YouTube
Why?
because like the one that you did the one with the doctor that you did, that would be taken down straight away on
This
YouTube.
wouldn't get taken down.
No, that specific video you'd be striked. You get a strike.
Why? It's not false.
It's not. You can't even talk about that on YouTube.
Yeah, no, he's right.
You can't even say
it's
the
a
word.
medical-
You can't say the
Doesn't
word.
matter. You
can't
cannot
the
say
word.
it. If you have to, you can't talk about it at all. You cannot
You can
say
say
the
C
word.
word.
No, you can't.
No, you
can't.
can't.
You can't even say.
You can. You can.
You
Okay,
can't
wait a
say
second.
COVID
So
on
hang on,
YouTube.
hang on.
No, you can't say no, you can say literally C word.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
what you have to say.
Hang on. All right. You're saying that our podcast, let's say the episodes we generally do, which are just ramblings.
All right. The fact that we spoke about the WNBA, we cop a strike. The fact that we talk about transhumans, we cop a strike. The fact that he was
look at Rogan.
impersonating Arabic
Yeah, that's
people,
true.
he'd cop a strike.
But that's just his poor attempt at impression.
You can't talk
I
about
think it's
specific.
completely
You can't
ignorant.
talk,
It's why Rogan moved off YouTube, right? At the end of the day.
That's why you can't talk about specific things on that platform because they're not advertiser friendly.
Oh, wait. Were we talking about something before this? No, fuck it.
Display.
Activision. Oh, okay.
Yes, they bought out.
How big is that?
That's big.
That is massive.
But I
Do me
don't
a favour,
think
can you close the door now?
But can you tell me this, right? How strange is it that
It's strange.
the world's most PC company bought out the least most abusive, harassing company on the planet?
I know.
What do you mean?
So Microsoft bought out Activision Blizzard
Okay.
just recently,
Activision
right?
is World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I know what Activision is.
Call of Duty,
Yeah,
the biggest
yeah.
shooter.
Warcraft 3,
Overwatch.
Hearthstone, Hearthstone, however you
So,
wanna
like
pronounce it.
a lot of the biggest games out there going, like esports
the
games
other
as
Call
well.
of Duties,
All the Call of Duties that come out annual
the other Call of Duties.
and the other Call of Duty.
Anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah, so they bought them out for 68 million.
Billion.
69 million. Billion, sorry.
68 billion.
I was going to say million sounds too cheap. That's what they make on an
$1
average game.
They closed the deal on that, and I mean it's a huge move.
Can you picture those meetings? Yeah?
Buy it. I like it.
No, like we're talking about $68 billion.
Yeah.
Like when Disney bought Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's insane. Like those
Yeah.
kind of purchases are like, Jesus Christ, you know what you're buying? The
Yeah.
back catalogue to Star Wars and The Simpsons.
The greasiest salespeople on the planet are in those meetings.
But can you imagine the salespeople actually being greasy car salesmen? Like the Triple H photo with the smug.
I'll tell you what. I'll chuck you in a welcome mat. a full jug of water.
You sign up today, mate. You get the keychain and the pen holder, and we'll get a mug in
And
there
I'll tell
as
you
well.
what, we'll tint the whole company's windows too.
The building. But we're moving out. Well, be that as it may. You'll enjoy it for the next 3 months. No, but seriously, what kind of people do you reckon they have in those salesmen?
Oh, absolute scum of the earth.
It would be like, it'd be scumbag.
Actually,
The Nosferatu.
what, dude? Rupert Murdoch, Bill Gates. They're meeting in Transylvania. We don't know why.
These are the people that were probably willfully sucking dick to like work their way up to the corporate ladder.
They get in there, just like Activision, Blizzard, and there's a baby sacrifice in the corner. I see we started proceedings. Very nice.
Every pagan god.
Just like everyone has their own goblet.
I didn't get my popcorn, please. Eyes wide shut. Bill Burr
Working his way up the corporate
How many
ladder
faces do I have to mush this thing
until
into?
he gets to that party where everyone's just getting blown. Like,
Eyes wide
where
shut.
am I? No,
Yeah, man.
but seriously,
Yeah.
can you picture those events? Like, who would you call in? Like, honestly, what are they actually calculating to come up with a price?
They're probably taking a
like-
massive hit because they know they'll take the profit in the long run. They have to. They have to know that. They would have tapped into like actual Windows money there and everything.
They would have had to look at forecasting projected
Oh, for
earnings.
sure.
Like if your catalog, your back catalog's made this much so far.
And I think they only
It's
managed to
actually
do
more
that.
complicated than that, right? Because they ideally they would put things on Xbox Game Pass. So all the titles that
everything,
they charge premium, like every year there's $100 Call of Duty that comes out, plus all the skins, all the new skins that you have to buy, the DLCs, the new wars, the battleground stuff. Like there's huge money in it, but how's that going to work at Microsoft? Because they're not going to just like let that continue. They're going to try and bring it in.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like with games, you pay for the game.
Yeah.
Okay, on Game Pass, there's games that are released on Game Pass. Halo was never released on a. You don't
physical
you just don't
disc.
buy
$0.
it. You don't buy it. You just get an Xbox Game Pass. You pay $20 a month. You got a catalog of over 100 games for whenever you want. In a way, it's good, but some games get taken away. But you look at it; some of these companies are owned by Xbox. Okay, so they don't have to worry about making the money to stay open.
Yeah.
So I would
But
assume.
like, World of Warcraft, it's a subscription-based game. It has been for its entire 18 years of.
So will that mean it'll go free?
Right. That's all the money. That's how they make money. So how does that game make money?
So you're saying that Warcraft, like WoW, would essentially be free to play now?
If it was on Game Pass, it would surely have to be.
Well, they wouldn't put it on console. It would be on the Windows.
I think
Game
they
Pass.
want to bring.
I've heard they want to bring it to console. Yeah,
they said they want to revive Guitar Hero.
But the thing is, the only reason I think they've been able to do this is to purchase it is because of what's happened at Activision. That it's
What's
it's
happened at
taken
Activision?
harassment, sexual harassment, sexual. Like just a bunch of bad people.
Harassment, bully, like you name them. The holy trinity of harassment. You know, like sexual, physical, emotional.
The issue is that there was like full documentation of text messages from staff to senior management to other management, and they're all just laughing about it and sending pictures of like the chick that they got drunk or drugged, and it was bad. It was real bad.
You know what? I saw an interesting thing the other day. It was about domestic violence, right? And obviously angled from like a man being the abuser, right, as opposed to the abusee. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was just like a post on Instagram or something. And it was something about he didn't lose control because he was perfectly in control when he was around his mates, his boss, the cashier at the thing. He only seems to lose control when he's in the privacy of his own home. Do you know what I mean? Do you reckon that's fair?
No.
Why?
Well, because I firmly believe if you can't stand being around someone, just walk away. Like the relationship should be.
Look, there are people that a lot of the cases here with domestic violence is whoever it is, they have a sense of like deep control. It's
no. Sorry, I mean from his point of view, not from her point of view. Like she just walks away. I understand she couldn't.
There's cases of like it's not cases. It is a matter of. The person thinks they own their partner.
Yeah.
They own it.
Yeah,
no one else can ever touch them.
It sounds like he's trying to, the guy who's the abuser is trying to justify the fact that he's not a bad dude.
No, he's not trying to justify. I'm saying it was the point of view being put forward was coming from someone witnessing what was happening. Mm-hmm. And it was basically the abuser has stated that they just lost control.
Oh, I get you.
And the abusee has said, they've just lost control. You know, it's a rare thing. And I think that's a fair way to look at it. Like, it actually drives the wedge straight down the middle. It's like, these clowns, these fuckwits that are like domestic violence, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, literally are abusers in domestic violence and stuff like that. It's not. It's literally just what you said about the control element and that sort of the power element and all that sort of shit. It's like you didn't lose control. It's not justification.
No, they're well in control.
They're well in control.
They might lose control over how hard and how much damage they do.
Yeah, but if it's one isolated incident, then okay, you can argue the fact that they've lost control. But not if it's like repeated.
Repeated, yeah.
Back that serial killer thing.
Yeah.
So how long? Well, there you go. Can they be redeemable?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Because domestic violence usually stems from upbringing. It stems from like you are a product of your environment.
Yeah.
And then just what's been propagated in front of you like through your whole life. Like you're an entitled dude for whatever reason. Then you're going into a certain element, and you have
to a degree. I think it is. To a degree,
it is a big part of it.
Yeah.
So you don't think that can be rehabilitated?
I don't think so.
What if they get sent to prison and get made into a bitch or something?
Well, good for them.
Do you reckon they'll come out with even more like of a?
It's hard to say.
That's hard to say.
Because I've said it about people. Like, I've heard about scumbags that I know, and I've always said, mate, they got a bit of chin music that would sort them straight the fuck out. They've never felt the repercussions of their actions.
But it's hard to say, because once they go into prison, then they might hold even more of a grudge.
Yeah, true.
It's like it's because of
society
her.
And
it's her fault that now I'm here.
Yeah.
So now all women, all people have to suffer.
You come out with an angle.
I firmly believe majority of the people can't be rehabilitated. I really do. Honestly, I really do. There's people who think they're rehabilitated. There was what's that guy's name? The comedian that we spoke about last time?
Who?
The one that you linked with the beard?
Butterfield. Yeah.
I've been watching heaps of his videos.
He's got some good
Have
stuff.
you seen the guy he interviews? He looks like a typical lad with a bald head. He's got a big beard and all these tats. Anyway, so this guy's like in his late 30s or something. And he's interviewing him. They're having a little laugh and whatever. And he's like, "Oh, so what did you get arrested for when you were a teenager?" And he's like, "Oh, it was nothing, man. The cops just beat me." And, he's typical anti-vax sort of victim. Yeah. "Oh, they just came and beat me at school. I didn't do anything wrong." He's like, "Yeah, but surely, like, what's the story there?" And he's like, "Oh, I just had a bad day, man. It was just a bad day." And then slowly it's like unwinding, right? So now he's had a bad day. And he's like, "Yeah, but like what happened on that day?" And he's like, "Oh, just some people pissed me off. The teacher was pissing me off because she wanted some homework and I didn't have the homework. And he's like, yeah, but what did you do for them to call the cops? And he's like, oh, I just went home, grabbed a knife, came back to the school, and, I held it to a kid's neck. I didn't do anything, though. I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't going to hurt anyone. And he's like, I was just innocent, man. He's like, I didn't hurt anyone. He's like, bullshit. The cops came and, like, pinned me to the ground. He's like, it was brutal, dude. I didn't do anything. He's like, I was innocent. I wasn't going to hurt anyone. He just kept saying it. And I'm like, you're a psycho. You are not innocent. You can't be rehabilitated. You have no hope.
Well, that's the thing. If they think they didn't do anything, it doesn't matter if they think they didn't do anything. If the cops believe that there's a threat there, they'll take action.
I'll be honest, in the last month or two, I've had multiple cases of like friends, people I know, associates that have been put in these situations where it's not even a male, it could be a female like harassing him, like a male dude getting harassed by a female to the point where they're fearful for their life or the safety of people they're living with or whatever. And I've said, well, try calling the cops. And they call the cops and they just get told, well, nothing's actually been breached, so we can't really do anything. Call us if something happens. It's like, well, what are you waiting for me to be dead?
Yeah, they can't do anything until an actual crime or is a crime about to take place.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, just call this motherfucker up, whoever it is, and just say to him, listen, back off,
Yeah. Intimidate.
You
It's
have
intimidation,
to. But that's what I mean. A lot of these people have never actually felt the sweet chin music of the law. Or like just sweet chin music.
Or just a sweet chin music, yeah.
And that's what I said. I guarantee a bit of just a fucking nice little rap to the jaw.
Yep.
Guarantee you these pricks would stay home.
Too many people have, I think, grown up or have been conditioned, coddled, to believe that there's no consequences for their actions.
Yeah, 100%.
None whatsoever. So they think they can talk how they want, they can do what they want, they can act how they want to their partners, they can do what... and
families, everything.
And people enable it because they just tolerate it.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in that. That's why I cut out so many people out of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going along anymore. Oh, what do you mean? That's just how they are. No, fuck that. Like, I've got better things to do with my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, you walked out of your brothers, because I got better things to do with my time.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking massive believer.